go ahead and fast forward. Make sure everybody can join and go on to YouTube. Make sure everybody can see. Let's see. YouTube. And there I am. Woohoo. Oops. Mute that. And then we're going to go over here and make sure that we are on live chat. And we can also check our video quality somewhere. Oops, don't pause that. Okay, and then you can write or tap. Ooh, we don't want that full screen. Okay, there we go. On a cell phone, you can tap the screen and it will fast forward for you. What is going on? I obviously don't play with the computer enough. Okay, so what I'm going to do is close out and go back in so I get caught up. There we go. Go back to live chat. Sheesh. Alright, I can move this and put this in a little holder. Plug in my laptop so it doesn't die while we're going live. Alright. Today we are still working on Christmas cards. Yesterday on my live, I will link that in the description below, we made Christmas cards using embossing folders. And here's a couple of them. Nothing like being way crooked. There we go. Tighten that up. There we go. Hi, Sandy. So this is a couple that we made yesterday, and this one here I put a little bit of ribbon on, a little bit of ribbon there. Okay, today we're going to make the same size of cards, the 4.5 or 4 1/4 by 5.5, 5.5 by 4 1/4, depending on our stencil. And stencils are fun. Hi, Carmen. Stencils are fun. You can purchase them pretty much anywhere. And when I went to look through my collection of Christmas stencils, I realized, let me pull those out. My Christmas stencils consisted of these. That's all I have for Christmas stencils. So I was like, yeah, those are not going to make very beautiful cards. These would be fun to use to make little gift tags and stuff. These are super old. Well, not super old. 2004 is when these were marketed. They're by Plaid. But I was like, I need better stencils than that. So I did a quick search on Amazon and bought a pack of stencils, which I misplaced. Here we go. So these are the stencils that I purchased on Amazon. They are 5 by 5. There's 16 pieces in here. I think it was like $10. I'll post the link in the description if you guys are interested. But yeah, this one was one of the prettier packs they had. So it's got some ornaments, got the Merry Christmas, as if we could really see that. Yeah, that didn't help. Let me find a dark color here. Okay, so there's that didn't help either. What is going on? How about this? Will that be... There we go. Now we can see. So we have the ornaments with a couple of snowflakes and stars. Merry Christmas with some deer. thought that was really pretty. And even though these are square, we're going to modify a couple of them to fit on my 4.5 or 4 1/4 by 5.5 cards. Little Santa in his sleigh. A deer. This one I really like. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And you can put it any way as well. Multiple deers, so you can kind of make your own scene if you want. The nativity scene, some snowflakes. These are going to be so much fun. Hello, Miss Bunny. Little Santa face. This one, these are so cute. This one is super pretty. I love this one. I think we're going to work with that one. And this one is cute too. And you can always mask off things that you don't want on there. Here's one that would make a cute little border. Some accessories. The little snowman. Oh, he's cute too. I think we'll use him. And a little Santa. He's kind of creepy looking. But I like the stocking. Mask him off. Okay, so stencils. You can buy them. And you can make them. If you have a die cutting machine, or not a die cutting machine, an electronic cutting machine like a Cricut or Silhouette, you can buy blank Mylar and make your own. And I will also have a link for the Mylar so you can kind of price it. This, the description said it was 7 mil, which I don't know, because did this say what it was? Oh. This stencil is much thicker than this one, but they all work the same. On my Cricut, I changed the settings in the advanced for the Mylar. There is a Mylar cut feature, and I just clicked on the advanced settings, clicked on Mylar, and then did the edit, and I put it at max pressure and let it cut 2 times, and it cut out beautifully. And to show you how smoothly it cut, okay, a little corner stick, but that's nothing. There's that. And they do sell them in different size sheets. These were a 12 by 12 sheet. Okay, look how easy those peeled right up. So definitely you can consider making your own. Or like I said, you can purchase stencils anywhere. All sorts of companies have them. Etsy shop, you have individuals that would sell them and whatnot. You can probably even get them customized if you want them to say your name on them and stuff like that. So something worth looking into. And we're going to grab some of our panel, well, one of our panels. And my panel is a 65-pound accent opaque. And then we have our card bases, which are 120-pound accent opaque. So they're nice and sturdy. That's why I don't mind if the panel is not as sturdy. And let's grab our little snowman. Okay. And you just kind of figure out where you want your little guy. And you get some low tack tape. All sorts of companies make it. This one happens to be a painter's tape that I've had for years. Come here. I want my snowman kind of right here. Like so. Okay. And you can use your pixie spray to make it stay down. I'm just going to tape mine down because I'm just going to pull out some colors and do some quick blending over it. And I grab my ink. Let me grab another one of these wonderful rubber mats. Ooh, that one's dusty rubber mat. Okay. And all this was a baking sheet, and I chopped it up, and it makes it so that your ink pad doesn't move. See that? So you can swirly and swirly. And then we're going to tap off on the glass to get the ink all nice and pretty in there. And then we're going to come and blend that right in to my snowflakes. And stencils are great. You can be as detailed or as, you know, one color or multiple colors. Hello, Maureen. Thank you for joining. We are just making Christmas cards, easy peasy, with some stencils. And I'm going to grab, no, we're going to get the powdery blue, break up blue. I'm going to tap in a different area, and we're going to do our little snowman in the ground he's on. Get his little package, his little hat. Just as much color or as little color as you like. You really use the tip of your brush. You can use your ink daubers. We'll do an ink dauber. Blending tools. We'll use some of those on the next one. Jennifer, thank you for joining today. All right, so there's the blue for that. We're going to get some red for the candies. And this one is Bee Sting. Such a lovely red. Get a little extra because I got some blue in there. And if you're a little worried about going outside the lines, you can mask off each individual section. There is nothing wrong with that. Grab some guppy for our stars. Okay. That was super easy. And then we have a little stenciled guy. I should have masked off the bottom and get a little crazy with my inking. And if you have a pan, like a dollar store pan or anything like that, you can toss these in there, rinse them off. They're super easy to clean. I'm just going to set mine aside and let them stack up. The water-based inks are not going to dry too fast on there, so that's not going to be a problem. Okay, now it can be done. It can be nice and simple just like this, or you can go in. We're going to grab our clear skies again. Going to get this little bit of pink picked up. Tap in our clear skies. And add in some more color. Our blue snow. It just dawned on me. Such a dork. Let's get a little bit darker blue for the actual sky part. And I'm going to wipe my brush just a little, blend it in with everything else, and then just pull some of that blue right on down. Nice and dark at the top. Bring it in on the sides. And now I'm just I started in the dark area and I'm pulling in the color, but super, super lightly. Okay, because I don't want to overcolor it, but I don't want it stark white. There we go. And then we have a nice easy peasy card. You can spritz it with some shimmer spray and it's all done. One stenciled panel. And then we would just trim him up and get him ready to go. We're going to take a panel. Okay, and we're going to do some cleanup. Oops. There we go. Okay. So our next little panel, okay, we're gonna pull out this guy. He almost fits perfectly. So this here we can, I really like that, but I really like those. So I'm going to mask off the words and I'm going to get these guys lined up there. And I'm going to mask off my edges because I don't want to go off. Okay, and as I'm masking the edges, it is taping down my project, so that is wonderful. Then I'll use some more tape to cover up the words, like so. There we go. And we can grab our blender brush if you don't have these kind of brushes and you have a domed blender. Those work just fine. We're going to grab some Game Over. Get it nice and juicy. Tap it there. Oops. And bring it on in. Sure, get that bottom of that bell into that snowflake. Okay. And just peel that, and we have perfectly stenciled little design there. What I'm going to do is wipe off my tape so I can reuse it. Peel my tape. Okay, and this time I am gonna wipe off just a little bit of this red. Make sure the back is clean. If you're readjusting stencils, you definitely want to clean the backs. That way there, when you reposition, you're not transferring ink. Go ahead and ask me how I know. Hello, PJ Stamper. All right, so now we're going to see, nope, that one is just a little too big for this card, but that's okay. You can, at this point, you know you want it to say Merry Christmas in there, you can get your sentiments out and stamp them on there, which I'm thinking is exactly what I'm going to do. But before that, it's kind of plain. It's kind of a simple design. So let's clean up this red and pull out some blue. And I just clean that up with my little piece of paper. Dry that off. Okay. We're gonna get a new domed blendy for some blue. Okay. And we're gonna do a powdery blue, so our breakup blue. And grab some of that. Okay. And now we're going to add some snowflakes. And that's the great thing about stencils, is you can layer them up on top of each other. Okay. And if you make little boo-boos, don't worry, because we still have to trim, so I'm not worried about that. Make sure there's no ink transferred to the back. Just dip and go. And this one, I'm just going to use the same snowflake. Do that one a little bit lighter. And to do that, you just tap less with a way lighter hand. Go off the page a little. See, I didn't even go back in for color for that one. It's super nice and light. And so you're kind of making your own little background. See how this ink, I haven't even dipped back in. There's just enough on the stencil to be fabulous. On the stencil on your little domed blender. All right. So there's that in our little powdery blue. Now we go back to our bright blue. Okay. And we are going to clean our domed blender. Because this one we're just using our domed blender in case you don't have this fancy tool here. Okay, we're going to go into this clear skies, and we're going to be very sporadic. We're going to start off the table and then pull it in very light. We don't want it bright at all. And don't worry about getting the edges dark yet. You can do that after you trim it. We're just getting some blue into the center of the paper. Just to soften it up. Okay, and it's so light. It doesn't have to be stark or bright, but it's very light. Just a touch. And again, you can hit these with some shimmers. If you have your Nouveau glue stuff, your Nouveau or pearl accents, what are these? Liquid pearls, okay? You can pick anything that you want. So we could put a dot in the center, maybe catch the tip of this snowflake like so. Okay, so you can easily spruce it up and be as fancy or as simple as you like. I really like that. Maybe you have red drops, you can follow a different pattern. Okay, and then we'll let that one dry. By adding your little Nuvo drops, gems, whatever you have on hand. Oh, it's a little wonky, but that's okay. All right, we'll put this on my drying rack, because I always stick my hands in this stuff, so I make sure it goes on my drying rack really far away. All right, hang up. You take your tape, because it is reusable. You can just stick it to the table next to you. Okay, and then we're going to set that guy aside. So we've done ink blending with our dome. We've done ink blending with our brush. Now let's try something different. Let me just tidy up here really quick. What did I do? All right, so this is the domed blender I was using yesterday to do the texture paste. Ooh, probably let me, okay. So what Ms. PJ Stamper was saying was, when you're doing this method, you definitely want to make sure your fingers and stuff are clean before you go pick up your panels or you get smudges. Okay. But we'll just do this super quick. So I'm going to pull this off to the side like so. We're going to tape it. Nope, we're not. We're going to tape it down this way. Tape it down this way first. Okay, like so. Like so. And get a little piece to get this Mary part. Okay. So what she was wondering is if we did it like this. See, and I didn't even have to go into the color. I'm just pushing a little bit extra hard to make sure that ink comes off. Okay. Just like so. We're going to peel these guys apart. Okay. We're going to set this aside because now we're going to change colors. So we want to clean our stencil. Squirt, squirt. Okay, and then wipe up. Make sure the back is clean because you can transfer color very easily. Okay. Oh, I have those Nuvo drops on that other panel, and I would definitely drop this right in there and make a mess. And this is an easy peasy, so we'll just... So if you've got stencils that are similar to this, and see here, this fits there, that fits there, and you can adjust it a little bit and move it around. Like so. You could definitely move them. What I would do would probably mask off because this one goes over a little, but you could put a section in there, in which case you would do your second color. But yeah, so if you have a stencil that's similar, you can mask off sections and scooch it over. Okay, I could do this one and this one at the same time and then just move that just a hair so that one fit in there better. See how they're overlapping? But that's easy. Just do that. So definitely can. I'm going to keep these two together and I will work on that later. And I am out of paper. But not really. I just need to chop some more. Put this here, put that there. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And we'll chop one more page. Maybe if I can get a hold of it. Okay. 5 1/2. And 4 1/4. Okay. And oops, a little bit. 4 1/4. Okay. So these are now choppy. Okay. And so they're, when you're doing it like this and then they're suggesting, where did I read that? Maureen said, try flipping the stencil over, it might fit better. And they still, certain ones do overlap when others clear it. But definitely all of these suggestions are fabulous. You just, if you're doing the what ifs, all you gotta do is try it out, just like this. But I am liking this idea, so I will finish that one up later. But I want to get through a few more things that we can do with stencils. Okay. So one of the fun things we can do with stencils is texture paste. And I'm going to set this one in here just like so. And we're going to tape this off. Get that stuck down. And what I'm doing is covering my edges. And see, all of this tape just sticks right back down. Make sure that's nice and stuck. Okay, we're going to start with a little bit of green. And with texture paste, you just need it on one side of your spatula. You're going to hold it at like a 45-degree angle. Start off the tip and gently pull. Get all my leaves green. Trying to avoid the dot because I'm going to try and do the dot in red. The little berries. So if you have a wide range of colors, you can definitely use stencils and go through all your fun colors. And I'm just grabbing a teeny bit on my spatula just to get it close to the edge there because I don't want to go into the bell. And you don't want to scrape too much or you'll develop white spots like that. Nice gentle scrape. Just kind of work it in there. And your spatulas, they come in all different shapes and sizes. Just like so. Looking good. Now we want to scrape just enough. Put some of that back into our dish. Oops, I dipped in. It's all right, we fix it. Just like so. All right, so the green is almost all done. I think this is a leaf here. You take your time. You could very easily do this all in one color, especially like gold or something on top of a pattern paper would be really pretty. A little bit at a time. This, even though it dries quick, it's still, you can work with it. It is definitely giving you time to work with it. I've had texture pastes that dry way too quick and you can't, they're in the garbage. Let's just say that. They are in the garbage. Yep, the Dollar Tree does carry the little plastic ones of these, you betcha, and they work just the same. I was cleaning and organizing and found a brand new unopened pack of these wooden handled ones. I'm not sure if they were mine that I had bought years ago or part of my mom's stash. So it is what it is. Scrape some of that off. Got a little bit too much. Just like that. See, it's so easy. I still got to wrap these in plastic. And it's water cleanup. So you can just give a little squirt. Get it nice and clean. Okay, so we're going to go in with a red. Oh, this red. My mom would have loved this red. Look at that. So bright. And then we're going to push it towards the green, but not into the green. So they don't blend, just like so. And I find this very therapeutic, just being gentle. Get that berry in there, just like so. Get some of that extra off. I got that one super thick. That's all right. It will dry. Okay. And then we're going to do, I think we'll do the bell first. We're going to do the bell in the slippery when wet because it is such a goldeny color of goodness. I'm going to turn my little paper. And if you don't invest in the washi tape and you have a magnet system, like your stamping tool or anything, a board with a magnet, you can definitely magnetize this down with your pixie spray. and it'll work even better. I should pixie spray my stuff, but I get lazy. So if there's any bleeding or anything, I can just blame it on my laziness. Just wiggle that in there, like so. A little teeny bit on the spatula, just like so. Clean that off. What I'm going to do is take a little bit of the gold. And, oops, I almost forgot the top of the bell. I'm just going to put a little dollop in there, just like so. We're going to take a little bit of the gold. Okay. And then we're going to add in a little bit of orange. Ooh. Okay, maybe a little bit more. We just want to make a different color, more of a brownish color. Make sure I put these lids on right. For our pine cone. Do a yellowy orangish. That looks good. Okay, so lovely thing about texture paste is you can modify them. So we have traffic cone and slippery when wet makes this beautiful coppery color now. It's just harder to scrape up sometimes because it's on the table. Yep, PJ says that she likes using the magnets because she doesn't like the sticky stuff from the spray, which is good to get into anyways, especially if you are wanting to foil afterwards, because residue from the pixie spray will definitely cause over foiling. And this one, I am using 65 pound. If you find that you don't like how it buckles and stuff, you just grab a thicker paper, because texture paste is a wet medium, and so it will change your paper structure a bit. Okay, ooh, I almost wiped that back into the gold. We don't want to do that. Hello, Melissa. All right. So we've done those. And I think I'm going to leave the snowflakes off. I think after this one dries, it would be fun just to ink blend the snowflakes. So we're going to very carefully turn this around and hold it up and peel out of the way. Okay. So there is our texture paste goodness in there. I've got a little bleeding, but I think it's still going to be beautiful. And when this dries, you can go in and ink blend. You can ink blend first, whatever you want to do. If you did this over a pattern paper, I think that would be really pretty as well. Which I think will clean up this stencil and do it on pattern paper in a solid color. I'll show you how that looks. Let me set that on my mat to dry. I think I have the perfect paper for that. Let me just give it a trim. We're gonna 4 1/4. Try and stay out of my view. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And this is just some paper that I got out of a pack, probably from Michael's or Joann's. I don't know. If you ever see my paper and you're like, ooh, that's pretty, where'd you get it? I can honestly say I have no idea. Okay, so we're going to peel our tape. Okay, and we're going to do a cleanup. Okay, and don't panic. Oh, you know, on another group, somebody's like, how do you get dried paint? Or if you get glue and stuff on your glass mat and it is caked on and you're like, I'm tired of scrubbing, you give it a mist with some water. You take a straight razor, okay? They do make handles for these, okay? You set it on your mat at, it's like a little 45-degree angle. Okay, and you just scrape. Just be gentle. Okay, we're not gouging. We just let the blade collect the glue and the gunk. Okay, having it misted with some water helps it bubble up like that. And then you can just wipe your blade, wipe your table, and then your glass mat is all nice and clean. And all the glue that you'd been fighting with is all gone. Clean up on aisle 7. Yep. So that is a nice little tip. That's why I have one stuck to my metal bowl. And I don't have a handle because the handle would be sticking out and being weird. But I just have a magnet in there for that. So it's handy anytime I need it. Now we're going to squirt this down. And if you have a bucket of water, a pan of water, you know, the dollar store has the metal baking pans. Those things last forever when you're not using them for baking. You could just pour some water in it and then clean these off. But see, even though it's stuck a little, cleaned up pretty easy. Where's my little cleaning dude? Come here, little cleaning dude. You can get silicone scrubbies to help with the inside. And then, ugh. Wipe, flip, squirt. I got these. There's 2 in a pack at Walmart at the baking aisle. They're for dishes, but they work. All right. Oops. And then you clean up underneath it before you flip it over. Okay, just like so. Goodness gracious. Okay. If you have a super fine and you find that your rag catches it, if you tap and give a twist instead of rubbing, that will help dry it and not ruin it. Okay. So our stencil's all beautified. We're going to grab some pattern paper. Okay. And we can just decide what color to use, which I already knew. I knew when I started this, I wanted to do it in a gold color. Now, the ones from the dollar store look like this. Okay. And I like the ones with the bend in them. It keeps my fingers out of it. So let's get this taped down where we want it. Okay. And look at that. If I did it, no, I don't like it like that. I like it like this. Okay, we're going to tape off that snowflake this time. Just get that all taped off. Oops. Cover up the snowflakes. So you can manipulate your stencil. If there's something on it you don't like, cover it up. You don't have to use the whole thing. Do what you want. So I've got it nice and there we go. I haven't been to a Walmart. Well, no, I just went the other day for car steering wheel cover and one of those window visors because we got a new car and new to us. I mean, it was previously owned, but Walmart gives me such anxiety. You go in there, you're like, what? Why don't they put the stuff together that belongs together? Okay, so okay, so we have our texture paste built up on one side. And again, we're going to come down off the stencil or off the design area. We're going to set it down, put it at an angle, and just let it push right into all of those crevices. Then you can start right back up at the top where you started and do it again. Okay. And just see how that fills in so nice. Get a nice buildup on one side. Okay. Start just off the design tip and just push. And it's not even like push, it's very gentle. You don't have to push hard. Scrape, collect just a little bit this time. Right into there. Just like so. Okay. Now we caked it on because maybe we want it raised up nice and high. Okay, we can tap it, we can make marks in it, whatever we want, but just be gentle about it. Okay, we're going to clean our brush. Lunar Paste, yes. Hi Rose, thank you for joining today. We are using the Simon Hurley Lunar Paste in our Amazon, with our Amazon stencils. Okay, now we're going to peel everything up together and I'm going to flip it, make sure I don't put my, and peel it apart. Okay, and there we have that gorgeous slippery when wet, is just a beautiful color. And I'm going to set that down because we're going to clean that. Oops, come here. I don't want to smear it, but see the loft on that? I mean, granted it's not measurable, but there is a nice raised feature. Again, this paper is just from a pack that I want to say maybe 65 pound, 80 pound, maybe a little bit 80 pound paper. So you can texture paste on anything. Yeah, and this way here, you could have 10 of these pieces of paper, different papers, 10 different papers, and this exact stencil, this exact thing, and make 10 different cards. How easy would that be? You would just move this one aside, grab your new panel, okay, and set this right back on there, and you're good to go again. Now I am going to do something a little bit different though. I'm going to take, say like we're done, okay? We've used our stencil a bunch of times. Oh God, I better move that. We've used our stencil a bunch of times. We've made like 9 cards. And you're like, okay, this is the last bit. I don't want to... Well, you can. You can take it to the sink and wash it up. But I'm going to scooch it down. I'm going to tape it down just like before. I'm going to grab... Well, nope, I'm not going to grab. I'm just going to grab some tape. Because I have a new exposed area right here. So I'm going to cover this up. Then I'm going to get an old icky paintbrush, dry, okay? And I'm going to swirl that texture paste right off the stencil, right onto the paper, okay? Oops, I didn't see that little guy there. Okay. And we have done a cast off of our paste. Like so. And we peel. Peel everything and then peel it off, and you have a different look. See how brushing it on, you can still see, because this paper has some glittery weirdness going on. Hold on one second. Oh. Allergies suck. Okay, so this one we've just brushed on some of that Lunar Paste. Any texture paste that you have, you could do the same thing. Okay, so we've done a cast off, and you can still see the stuff underneath it. It's just how fast to make Christmas cards or any cards. So say like you have a pair of sunglasses and some beach paper. You could stencil on some sunglasses, and you got yourself 10 summer cards. Thank you for the bless yous. I love that. Maybe Simon will make a quart jar just for Elizabeth. Yeah, we could easily go through the texture paste. But, that's so lovely. I'm going to set this on my dry rack so we don't get into that. And then you can get a third. I did this the other day while cleaning just to see what it would do, and was utterly, not utterly, but I was impressed. Okay. So this time we're so unprepared. Grab some water. Not very much though. We just want to dampen our brush, okay? We just want to dampen it. And then we're going to do the same thing we just did. Okay. And this will give a different look. All before we actually go and clean it. And this is more of a grungy look. So if you just want something different, okay, and then you could ink blend over that. But it's so shimmery, even on the third go around. Isn't that just amazing? Okay, now at this point, I would not reuse my tape because it's all glorified and shimmery Lunar Paste. I'm just going to send it to the garbage. Clean that off. And I do recommend putting some plastic wrap between the jar and the lid. It just helps those stay fresh longer. But I bought my plastic wrap and have yet to put it in there. And you see that? Even as dry as it was when I was using that paintbrush, once you get it wet, it cleans up really nice. Okay. And then the back side. This little tail thingy is terrible. Okay. I'm going to throw this in my bucket of water. Let that get happy. And I'm going to clean my desk. See, very dry. Comes right up. Wash my brush. And check this rag because I've got Lunar Paste all over it and other cleanups. Boom! Grab a clean rag. All right. And we're going to use one more stencil and then I'll let you go. We're going to use our homemade stencil because you've purchased your stencils from wherever you got them, okay? But like I said, you can make your own and they work just fine. You're basically doing the same thing the companies are. You're using a machine to cut out an image. This little guy is one of my designs. So you have the negative and the other part. Okay. And when you get these fun negative ones, okay, tape. Oops. Covered my little nub there. Get these negative ones. They're a lot of fun. Okay. So you can stamp over that. You can do whatever you want. We are going to stencil over it. I'm going to find a stencil that has some fun stuff. Oh, that would almost fit inside there. Ooh, here we go. We got some stars. So we'll grab some of our guppy. Grab our yellow. Tap it off. And then just add some stars and dots. So you can layer stencils on stencils, especially these silhouette ones. Okay, so we got some dots going on. And we want to maybe add some clear skies in there just a little bit. Try not to make it green. Just add a little bit. Just so we can get that outline. Okay. We're going to peel that off. Okay. Now you're going to take your negative, and this you might want some pixie spray, but if you don't, you can use a little bit of tape, roll it up on itself, stick it on there, and then you're going to have to use your fingers to help hold it as you work. Okay, and you're going to line this right back up over your stencil. Okay, we're going to go in with a different shade of blue so it really pops. Okay, and then we're going to start on our stencil and just kind of swoop it up, swoop it around. Well, I might need to actually, oops, clean my brush. Haven't cleaned them since I've got them. Okay, so your negative stencils, and again, if you're got a pair of sunglasses, you can do the same thing. You could actually put a scene in your sunglasses, mask it off, and then do ink blending. Did a really interesting ink blending here. Okay, and then you peel and you've got double stencil used. Blah. So this is just using a homemade stencil. Okay, and if you don't like the halo, you can go in and add some more color. The other thing you can do is you can trace your stencils. Okay, so you can use them with your ink blenders and stuff like that, but don't forget the old school, you know, back in the day, we would put our design down and we would grab a pencil. Okay, I'm not being very careful here. But you would trace it, and then you could draw inside of it. You could paint inside of it. You could do all sorts of stuff because you'd have it all traced out. But yeah, you could take your time and do a tracing too. And so you could like do doodles inside. Put a little tree, a little bird, you know, whatever you want to do. If you have little teeny stamps, you could do that. Stamp inside there or whatever you want to do. Or maybe you're practicing your doodles, so you have it and you're like, okay, I want to practice swirly doodles. Anything that you want, you can go ahead and do that. So lots of uses with your stencils. Okay, you can make your own, you can purchase them. Ink blending, using multiple stencils over each other. Let me get this tidied up just a wee bit. You can stencil on top of paper. Just one second while I grab my projects here. Okay, get my little tray of drying stuff. We'll just do this. Come hitherin. Okay. So there we have these. Okay. And this one, zoom up just a little bit. So this here was our, oh dear. This here was our original paste. Then we cleaned it. And then we cleaned it again. Okay. So you can definitely mass produce. Okay. Going into more detail, even with your texture paste. And when it's all dry, you can go in with more stencils, put some snowflakes or stuff in there. Okay. And that was just ink blending with different colors with the one stencil. Lots of options you can do. And again, even though I'm doing this because I need to get my Christmas cards caught up, you can also do this with any stencil, any theme. You can just pick pattern papers, get one main focal image, and bust out a ton of cards. But yeah, I hope you guys liked all these goodies, and I thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you follow me on Instagram at Elizabeth Costa-Rogers, I will be posting pictures this evening after I finish up these cards, and then yesterday's cards as well. Oh, I can't believe I almost forgot. If you guys are interested, I will be at Debbie J's Crafting Corner on YouTube as a guest. Let me get her channel and I'll share it with you guys. At 5:30 today, she is going live and I will be joining her. Debbie J. Control C. Control V. So I will be here at 5:30 live again. Woohoo! I do not know what we will be making. I have to check my email, see if she sent me something to be prepared. If not, it'll still be fun. And I will be here tomorrow, Wednesday at 7, my regular live. We will not be doing Christmas cards though. We'll be using a stamp from Technique Junkies. So I will see you all later. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye-bye.